Hey, y'all. Welcome back. Wait,
Yes,
aren't y'all
welcome
tired of
back.
hearing that?
Yes, yes,
It's getting
yes,
tired.
yes. We gotta come up with something a little bit more unique, something with some energy. Like maybe we should, I don't know, rap the intro or something. Like I
Go
don't
on,
know,
girl.
do a
Go on,
freestyle
spit some
battle.
bars.
Me? Yo, welcome to the show. It's your girl
Hey,
Candy said. It's your
what?
girl Mo.
Mo. Hey.
That's what we're gonna start doing. We'll start opening the show up like that. So some extra energy until we get tired of that.
Right.
Shoot, I done heard, hey, y'all, so much that in the middle of the night I wake up and I just imagine a little kid at the end of my bed. Hey,
Shut,
y'all.
shut up.
Scared me in my dreams. No, I'm just playing.
Nah,
I'm just
I go to
playing.
sleep. I go to sleep saying, hey, y'all. Welcome back. Another episode of Science's Podcast.
Girl, you so silly.
Oh, boy.
You were
Oh,
so
man.
silly. But no, it's good to be back. And we had a nice little giveaway, so we hope y'all enjoyed that, and we hope y'all continue to participate going forward. As
Yes.
we have more giveaways, and we're gonna have even bigger gifts and stuff like that going forward. So y'all keep tuning in.
Yes. So what we gonna be talking about today, girl?
Well, today we want to discuss something with y'all because obviously me and Mary we are focusing on ourselves and working on ourselves daily, and so we came across a book which we have to tell y'all how it even worked out for us, which is crazy. But we're currently reading Think Like a Monk by Jay
Yeah, I
Shetty, which
got
is an
mine,
awesome
but
book.
I don't have my cover because my little one took it off.
Okay. No worries, no worries. But it's so crazy because so me and Mary had never discussed reading this book together.
At all.
Um yeah. I think we were already talking about we had already planned the podcast out, like doing the
Mm-hmm.
podcast and stuff like that, but we had talked about reading this book together. Um and I just happened to be on Amazon one day, and it was just advertised while I was shopping, and I just read into it. And I was like, you know what, that's a good book. Let me go ahead and order that. So at the same time of me doing that, I think I think that's when I talked to you. I think we just kind of linked up and we just were talking.
Yeah.
I can't even remember exactly how it came up, but I was like, yo, yeah, I'm starting to read this book called Think Like a Monk. And then Barry's like, hold on.
Wait.
Now you can continue on with yeah, I was saying you can continue on with the rest of the story.
I was like, no, shut up. Like, I just got that because one of my best friends sent it to me. I was like, what? And we were just like, yo, that's crazy. Like, what a coincidence of that. Like, this is a sign right here. Like, okay.
Exactly. Like I said, we had no intention of reading this together, or no plan or anything like that. So when we found out that we had just got the book, this, I think it was the same week within days of each other, that we
Yep.
had received it at the house, and so we've been reading it together ever since. And we just want to share some of the, I guess, information, just a snippet, because this book is amazing. He covers a lot of points. So we
Mm-hmm.
don't have time to do that in one episode. So we're just obviously going to focus on one aspect of that today. But it's an amazing book if you're a reader, and shoot, even if you're not, I think it's interesting enough to keep your attention, and it's very enlightening.
Yes, it's definitely life changing. Like, I recommend it.
Yeah. And so, because our podcast, sorry, hopefully y'all didn't hear that. I just knocked my table, but our podcast obviously is focusing on us trying to find our purpose and work towards that on a daily basis, and so um, there's a particular chapter. I think it's chapter 5, correct? Called Purpose, and so
Yeah.
we just wanted to tie that into our message today, to go over some of the things that he discusses, in that chapter, because it's very important, because it's something we're pushing.
Yes. Sorry.
No, you good. So like, and even underneath the title, when it says "Think Like a Monk," it says "Train your mind for peace and purpose every day." So that is our focus. So yeah, I guess we could just dive in right now. And just to be clear, y'all, even the chapter 5 is intense. So there's a lot of things that are in there and that are very useful that I think you should check out. But we're just going to talk about a few different topics that get talked about in that chapter. Would you like to start, my darling? Okay. So,
I'm just saying.
oh, I'm about to say, well, I mean, if she don't want to, go ahead. Let me dive in. I was prepared.
Um,
Mhm.
First, I want to talk about how the book has changed my life so
Oh,
far.
go ahead. Yes, yes, please
I
share.
mean, we're only on chapter 5, and I mean, this book, like when I tell y'all, okay, I'm not big on reading, but this book got me reading. And if that doesn't say enough, that should say
Yeah.
enough. It just each chapter, like you literally, it, ah. Candace, I cannot stop saying like, okay? I can't stop saying okay? Y'all, we've been trying to practice on saying like, not saying like and but it's a part of
That's
me.
all right.
Eventually I'll
Right,
grow.
right, right.
But anyways, the book, like it literally has me sitting down, like reevaluating things in my life and just time to sit and see like what I want to
Hmm.
do, help, not purpose.
Exactly.
What about you, Candace?
Yeah, I think that I say the same, and also looking at it differently because there are like there are a lot of things I'm interested in, and I would always be like, okay, well, I may be good at this and good at that, um, but where do I fit in? Because it can't just be a situation where I couldn't see how certain things would tie in together for one main purpose, so to speak. So I think this book so far has been helping me kind of um, focus in on that. I guess to try to listen to myself a little bit better and figuring out where I could kind of make my mark. I guess you could say. I think even down to the idea of trying to refocus my thought process about different things that go on in our lives, whether it's making decisions about your career, family, whatever it is, and really getting deep into the thinking of what really matters to me, like what's really important to me, and making sure that those are the things that are at the top of my list when I go to make a big decision and push myself. And I think um, it's also kind of gave me like a new thinking about the purpose of this podcast, because although even when we started, there was always purpose behind it in the sense of what we wanted to accomplish. But I think it's also brought a lot more meaning to me. What while I'm trying to like evaluate it a little bit differently. Now that after reading the book and kind of seeing some of the things he discusses, I'm like, hey, like this is bigger than us. So I don't know. Like I said, I enjoy it, and I'm with Mary. Like I'm one of them people who, every year I'm like, oh, I need to be reading more. And, I'll make the effort to start. And then sometimes I don't stick with it throughout the year. So like, no lie, I've been on that Bible path that where you read the whole Bible in a year. Yeah, I've been on that for some time now, y'all. I'm not even gonna lie. So, like it's a big deal that we've been just so entrenched with the book that we've continue to read it like without, and it's not forced. It doesn't feel forced to me. I don't know about you, but it just doesn't feel forced. It's like I look forward to, especially when I get my quiet time in my little bubble bath, I look forward to opening up and just learning more. So hopefully if y'all have an opportunity to get the book, excuse me, if y'all have an opportunity to get the book, y'all feel the same.
Yeah, and I feel like I'm gaining more like a sense or awareness of like what brings
Mm,
me peace while I'm reading a book, like learning to like nah, if that's gonna cost peace, I don't I'm
right.
not worried about it. You know, it's just certain situations where you just like to engage or not
Mm,
engage, and I'm learning that. Even like he even got y'all, he has like breathing exercise where you meditate and stuff. I'm telling you, like y'all need
oh,
this book,
and that's
okay?
true. Shoot, sorry to cut you off. The breathing exercise. One of them I have been doing with my daughter. Um, because she'll have moments where she'll just get like super anxious about something. Like I don't know, she just has her depending on different things that can occur, and I have to calm her down, and that has been something that seems to work really well with her when I try to get her to breathe a certain way. Like he has different techniques, like Mary said, and one of them in particular, I can't even remember the name of it right now, but she when she does that, calms right down. She's good to go. She's going about her way. And I'm like, so, and I'm trying to start my kids at a young age where they're learning how to cope with their emotions in that kind of way. So obviously, as we've gotten older, um, and I hate to say it like this, but especially within our community, the idea of dealing with anxiety and stress has kind of shifted because in the past it was kind of looked at as, hey, be strong, handle it. That's what you do. You know, now we're becoming more
Mm-hmm.
self aware where we're getting to a point of understanding that we have to sometimes get help in other ways to really help us cope. So, like, whatever your thing is, we talked about that before, and so I'm trying to teach that to my kids young of learning when you start having these overwhelming feelings, there's ways that you can calm yourself down. There's ways you can calm your nerves down to try to get you to feel better. And if those things don't work, then we escalate to, the next wave of things. But hoping that that is something that continues on with them where and when they're older, they already know their routine. They know how to get themselves back balanced. So that's what I'm hoping.
That's good. That's good that you guys are starting young.
Yeah, we try. But no, but so if you're ready to dive in, I mean, to some of the just talking about the chapter 5. Also, I did combine some of his chapter with some of the other readings we had, so I will try to differentiate between the two to let you guys know, you know, what notes came from which book. But
Okay.
yeah, one of the main topic, or obviously we talked about chapter 5. He's talking about purpose, and he discusses something called dharma, and he said, he talks about how we he kind of equates that to purpose, right? And the what he calls is the magic formula for dharma is your passion plus the expertise plus the usefulness is what equals dharma. So the idea is, you taking something you love, adding all the skills and necessary requirements to fulfill that particular thing, and then aligning it with what's needed in the world, like how people can benefit from what you're doing. And that is where you reach reach that
Right.
elevated level of fulfilling your dharma, I guess you could say. And I think that's super important because I think when we think about passions in general, that's literally just based on what you like to do. But I love the fact that he's like, no, once you take that and figure out how it benefits other people, that's when you elevate it to the next level. And then that's what's going to help you feel as though you're fulfilling your purpose
Right.
because you're making a difference in the world. So, and also he mentions that dharma is using the things you're good at to serve others. So using what you're good at to serve others. That's why I think I can't even remember the name of the episode we did before, but just going back to the idea of if you if you love baking cakes, like you may look at that as not being a big deal, but if you actually put a certain type of effort into that, find a way to use that to help others around you or to make, to change the way people feel. Because people don't realize how a simple sweet gift sometimes like that can make a person smile, and that alone can have a great effect on their day. You just never know. So something that can seem so small can really be huge in someone else's life. So trying to just take that what you already love to do, like I said, if it's baking cakes, and you turn that into something even greater than yourself because you've affected somebody else's life with it. And that's why when he goes on to talk about how um, your passion is for you, but your purpose is for other people. So, if you like to rap, but you're rapping in your basement because it's a release for you, that's cool. That's just your passion. But if you're taking that and you're deciding to actually create music that you plan to put out there that's going to affect the lives of other people to uplift them, now your passion has become your purpose. And that's what we're trying to grow into, where we're taking something we love and actually executing it to a point where now we're affecting other people's lives in positive ways.
Right. Like there was something he said about there's two like myth, two lies that we've been told growing up. Um you are never amount to anything, and you can be anything you want to be. And he said you can't be anything you want, but you can be
Mm.
everything. Just like, wow. You know how many times
I was about to say I
you can
do
be
too.
anything. I
Yeah.
tell my kids that you can be anything you want to be. Whatever you put your mind to it. And I was just my nose immediately turned up when I
Mm-hmm.
saw. I was like, "What? That's a lie? Like, no, I thought I thought I was part of like speaking life into the kids and
Right.
stuff. Giving them that support and that motivation that they need to. But when he turned it around and said, "You can't be anything you want, but you can be everything you are," just being the yourself. So I was just like, now let me look at this different. What you think, Candace?
No, no, you're right. Because it's almost like, you know, um, I think it was Charles Stanley. I think it was reading by him, but where he mentioned like, God has placed more within you than you realize, right? So hearing that statement of, you can be everything you are is just because you haven't reached your potential, because that's why when we go through life trying to figure out where we're supposed to be, how we're supposed to move, you're not, if you're still wondering who you are, and and there's no shade to this because that's where we we are. We're growing with y'all, okay? But if you're still, in that phase of of
Yes, we
wondering who
are.
you are and where you want to be and how you're supposed to be, um, you obviously have so much more room to grow. So you aren't who you are supposed to be. You aren't who you're going to be. So focusing in on I think that goes back to just trying to find a way to focus in on your strengths, because he also mentioned how, when you're young and you come home, I think you mentioned like with the report card, and let's say you
With the
have,
bad grades.
yeah, he said, what do most parents do? They focus on a bad grade. Why is that grade that way? What do we need to do to make you stronger in your weaker spots? And while he does, advocate obviously for making your your weaknesses a little bit stronger, his point is you should also focus more on your strengths, because
Right.
that is going to help you get closer to your purpose. Because I wish I could remember how he said it, how our limitations make space for other people's like gifts.
Right. Those are passions or their purpose. And like the more time we spend focusing on our weaknesses, we're taking away
Yeah,
someone else's passion,
yeah.
because that's not your passion. That's not your purpose. Your purpose is what the strength
Exactly.
are.
And imagine, think about when you were a kid, whatever you were super, good at or what stood out naturally. Um, if you would have just put a lot of effort into that thing, imagine how far you would be within that same field or whatever in, today, years later. Because,
Like basketball,
hey,
Candace.
hey, look, you know what? It ain't a whole bunch of Ivory ladders running around. I'm 5'2". I think when I didn't realize I was short till middle school. Like, no lie, y'all. I didn't realize I was short till middle school because elementary school, you could. I'm like, oh, I'm good. I'm good. It wasn't until I hit about, I think it was about sixth grade, and the short jokes start coming out, and I'm like, who they talk about? Who they talk about with all these short jokes? You know, so I'm cool with that. I'm cool with, hey, it's fun to play. I enjoy playing, but but yes, but still, if at that young age I would have said, you know what, and that's why I used to tell my friends that I wish I wasn't some, and I know this probably sounds silly to a lot of people, but yeah, like I remember, I used to say this to some of my friends about how I kind of wish that I was like really great at one thing, so I wouldn't be so confused about finding my purpose. Because if it was only one thing that I
Girl.
was great at, I would just be like, well, I better put all my eggs in this basket and make it work. That would just be a simpler life, and maybe it wouldn't be. I don't know, but when you have different interests, and you're like, oh, well, I'm kind of good at this. Like, I can see myself doing this, or I can see what it makes it a little bit more confusing.
Well, like,
I'm
sorry, I
good.
didn't mean to cut you off or anything. When it comes to, excuse me, Lo, you got me. You've been doing
My
that
bad.
all throughout the. Now it done came this away.
And
It done
daggone
came this
allergies.
away. No, that Bible path that we were reading last week, it says something. What we view as taking a chance very possibly could be what God will use to carry us one giant step closer to fulfilling our purpose and reaching our full potential. Like, there go light again.
You
There go
good? You
light.
good?
We know that purpose is where we find meaning, what we want to do and contribute. Sometimes we can be in a job. Like going back to the book, Jay Shetty in the chapter 5, he talks about the four quadrants of potential, four quadrants of potential. And in the quadrants, and each quadrant is something different. So in one quadrant is the skill and no passion. So
That's like football players who are those are like
how did
football
he
players
say
who
it
are
was?
great at it because they got the physical features and like um how people say, I know this is off topic, but take Andrew Bynum from the NBA, all that physical talent, and people are like, man, how you just not go do the job just to make the money? But there was no passion behind it. It's just, hey, I'm a tall guy
Mm-hmm.
and I was able to learn basketball and be good at it, but that's not where my heart is. So I'm sorry, continue on. That's just a quick example.
Yep. No, you good. No, that helped me out because he said good at it
Mm-hmm.
but does not love it was what he used, and then passion and no skill. You love it but you're not good at it. Then no skill and no passion. You don't love it. You're
that's
not good at it.
horrible.
And then the no skill passion. I know
No,
you don't
no
ever want to
skill,
get
no
there, y'all.
passion. Like,
Like,
what are you doing
we don't want
there?
to be in that
Yes.
one. Girl, and then no skill but passion. So you're not
That's like
good
me
at it,
singing.
but you love it. Same. Cause
I know
ain't nobody
that's
gonna tell me that I can't sing. Cause when I'm in the shower, okay, my walls love it. Okay.
shoot.
Oh man, but no, but that had me thinking. So as we're talking about finding our purpose and stuff, you know how you mentioned a couple episodes ago, you were saying y'all get y'all a Mary, y'all get y'all a Candace, because the Bible says in Proverbs, let me see, y'all, hold on, Proverbs 11:14, it says, where there is no guidance, a people falls, but in an abundance of counselors, there
Mm.
is safety. So, in other words, one of the many ways God will help you find your purpose is through others. And Candace is helping me find my purpose through this podcast. If it wasn't for her, girl, I would not be doing no podcast.
No, yeah,
So, thank you. But I'm just saying, I say that to say, y'all use other people because they will help you find your purpose as well.
yeah. And thank you for that. I feel the same way because I mean I know you say you wouldn't be doing a podcast without me, but I wouldn't be doing this without you. It's just the truth and honesty, because I've always I've been wanting to do it for some time, but actually having that partner who was going to be a ride or die for me was not there. So I definitely appreciate you. Um,
Well, my passion is always being a ride or die. Ask my husband. Hey.
but yeah, but going back to what Kira's saying about, just through other people, I think another way to to look at that is going back to the idea of finding your Dharma and stuff like that. Is I was watching a video by Shetty, and he mentioned the quote by Gandhi that says, "You find yourself when you lose yourself in the service of others." And he went on to talk about there are two different paths to turn, like basically to go from turning your passion into your purpose. And he said the first path is you have a skill set that you use and learn more, and you kind of engage in it to help others. So, for instance, I guess I wanted to use this as an example. I went to school for media production, so I learned how to edit videos, how to edit audio, stuff like that. Trying to take that skill set and find a way. Okay, well, how do I use that talent to help others? And that's what we're trying to do through this podcast, right? That's one path to take. But the other path is the total opposite way. If you don't know what you're good at, if you don't know what you're into, then just start serving people. And in the process of serving people, you will start to realize the things you like about serving people and the things you don't like. You'll start to notice the things that you're good at, the things that stand out about it. And then you could kind of funnel into the idea of, well, how do my skills and my talents fit into the things that I like to do when it comes to serving these people? And he also described that what you want to do is find a way for four things to basically intersect so you can turn your passion into a purpose. And that is figuring out what you're good at, figuring out what you love, what does the world need, and how can I make money from it? And then that's when you can truly take whatever it is that you like to do and actually turn it into a career that benefits you not only financially, but also on the flip side of that, in terms of emotionally feeling like you're fulfilling the purpose, or because you are. Um, and we know that even within his book, he mentions that your Dharma has to feel a need in the world. Like, for it to be considered a Dharma, it has to feel a need. So that means to feel a need, you're going to be helping others. So those are the key ways. Like I said, if you already know what you love, figure out how you can exploit that talent to help others. And if you don't, then just start serving in any way that you can, any capacity, whether that's in your church, at your school, in the community. I mean, wherever. If it's coaching, if it's tutoring, mentoring, serving in different places that help the homeless or whatever it is. Just finding your foot in there also can help.
Yeah, and then eventually it'll lead to what is going to fulfill you. And that's the ultimate goal, doing what you love.
Yeah, I mean, because at the end of the day, I mean, no, but listen, because no, every time you talk about fulfilling your purpose, everybody wants to talk about it from a peace of love type way. But the reality is, we need money to survive. We need money to live, and if you want to live, if you want to be able to open yourself up for a better life, more opportunities. Obviously, a part of that is going to be finding ways to increase your income. And what better way to do that than to do that where you're also fulfilling the mental and emotional side of fulfilling your purpose and helping people. Like you can feel good about that as well, because you're not just bringing home a check, but you're also changing lives in the process. So there's nothing wrong with trying to find a way to use whatever talent you have, whatever gifts you have, and saying, hey, I'm gonna put my focus into trying to turn this into something that can satisfy me in multiple ways. But like I said, part of this we need to live. So it's just a reality that we have bills to pay. So with that being said, figure out how it can also align with your purpose, because you don't want to be giving a whole bunch of time to something else that isn't fulfilling you, because that's a lot of time that gets wasted and is not dedicated to what you really want to accomplish in life.
Yeah, so just remember, Dharma is passion plus
Mm-hmm.
expertise plus usefulness. So y'all, let's get out there and start aligning that all together. Use that formula going forward to help find your purpose, to make sure that you serving others while you're doing it. You're impacting others' lives, and you're
Right.
good at it. You love what you're doing, and then the ultimate goal, you've done what you need to do, because essentially we all have a purpose. We're all built with a purpose. We're all built with these strengths. We're all built with these skills. It's just a matter of time and just digging in and just finding out
Exactly.
what
And we all have
that
a
is.
responsibility to each other to fulfill our purpose. We all have a responsibility to each other to fulfill our purpose, because your purpose may help somebody else figure out their purpose, and so on and so on. So remember that you're a unique person, obviously with unique talents and gifts, and you have a unique mission. And so we got to figure out, just keep pushing yourself to get to that point of accomplishing and fulfilling yourself, so you can do that. We can get into this affirmation. Let's go. I am enough.
I have the power to create the life I desire.
I am worthy of my dreams.
I am worthy of my dreams.
And remember, to get to that point of knowing what your dreams are, you got to figure out, you got to get that passion going for something. And so, and if you're at that point where you already have your passion, now it's just turning it into something greater than yourself. But yeah, that's how you can fall right in line with your dreams and keep pushing towards them. So we hope y'all got something out of today's message or podcast.
Yes. Remember, Dar, y'all.
Yes, yes.
Go on and get you a
Think
copy
like
of
a
that
monk.
book.
It is
Think Like a
awesome.
Monk by Jay Shetty. Change
Agreed.
your life. And remember, shine, sis. You got this.
You got this, girl. Do we need to wrap our way out, or no? I think we good. We good, right? It's on you. It's on you. I don't have
I mean,
nothing
I'm
for
ready
now.
if you
For now.
SHINE. What? I said SHINE. What? Shine, sis. You got it. Oh, I can't be a
I
rapper.
think that puts you in quadrant. What's that? Quadrant 4? No, quadrant 3. Quadrant 3. No skill, no passion.
No skill, no passion.
But all right, y'all. All right, y'all. We out. We out.
Oh gosh. No, we out.